Live from Bethesda, Maryland, the home of the Bethesdaites. I don't know what the hell it's the home of, but hey, it's the home of us at the moment.
Indeed, it is.
Yes.
How are you doing, Pops?
I must admit, I am a little tired today. I was out traipsing around the Bethesda area with your sister and soon-to-be brother-in-law, looking at potential apartments that I could rent to, I don't know, maybe live here. And when I saw the price of apartments, well, that discouraged me quite a bit. And so, hell, I'm not going to live here, but I did a lot of walking today, and I'm tired now.
Confirm if you can in the chat. Audio is sounding good. And then let's welcome a few folks that are here on the stream, Pops. We got Daniel Lewis hitting us with the first.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
I love how when I do the ad lib, you then do it right after.
Yeah.
Yes, the first
And-
yeah,
and
buddy of the
Is
night.
that Daniel Day-Lewis of the great actor Daniel Day-Lewis of There Could Be Blood?
Possibly.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Justice is in the house. Mary's in the house.
The Justice?
Anaphylaxis is in the house.
Oh my goodness!
For Fire Spittin' Kitten.
Not the Fire Spitting Kitten
Fire Spittin' Kitten's in the house.
from Tempe.
From Tempe.
Oh my God! You know, I used to have friends in Tempe.
We got Phil in the house. We got
There
Mike
was
in
a
the
great
house. We got
Mexican
Melissa in
restaurant
the
that I
house.
used
Keep
to go
going. We
to
got Space in the
Tempe.
house. No, name the restaurant. We got Mike Dean in the house. We got Jack in the house. We got Adrian in the house. We got
Alex in the house.
We got Alex in the house back on Facebook.
Oh my God!
It's a beautiful night.
And it was a beautiful day here in Bethesda, Maryland. It was bright sunshine, just a delightful day. Everybody was out.
We
and
got
about.
dog breath in the chat. That's gonna get another.
Yeah, buddy.
There are days I have dog breath.
So, Pops,
Yes.
let's kick off tonight's stream with the title of tonight's stream.
What was that?
Let me double check. I think it was. I'm gonna look it up. Let me make sure. It's here's why right now
Yeah.
is the best time to buy a car, and why it's only going to get all caps
Yeah.
worse in 2022. Dad, let's kick it off with that. Why would right now, when we've been saying for literally a year, for literally more than a year,
Yeah.
we've been saying, don't buy. Our advice is still don't buy a car.
Yeah.
We are the proud owners of StopBuyingCars.com.
Yes.
Haven't done anything with it yet.
Yeah, but we could.
Honestly, I might just put like a picture of your face on that website.
Yeah, that would be enough to get people to
Stop
stop
buying
buying cars. I know one time when I was between wives at the dealership, we ran a promo that if you buy a car, you get a date with the general manager. I was the general manager. It was like somebody turned off the customer faucet. The thought of having to buy a car and date me was enough to keep people away. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Sorry
about that.
No, you're funny.
Yeah.
So we've been saying stop buying cars. But
Yes.
if you need to buy a car, or if you anticipate you need to buy a car within the next 12 months, now
could be the best time. And the reason that we say that is simply because the continued shortage of new inventory due to supply chain issues that have to do with the semiconductor chips and other supply chain issues, and then the lack of pre-owned cars, quality pre-owned cars. And so as there's more and more of a shortage, what happens is the prices keep going up. So I don't anticipate the supply chain issues to be resolved for another year or so, which means if we're going to continue to see these types of shortages, we're going to continue to see an increase in pricing. And we've seen that on the wholesale level on used cars. We've seen that on the retail level of used cars. And we're seeing it on the additional dealer markups on new cars. So it's probably better today. If you needed to buy a car, it's probably going to be cheaper today than it would be tomorrow. Now, if you don't absolutely positively need a car, don't buy a car, because the only way that we can get manufacturers and dealers to adjust their additional dealer markups and their pricing is if people stop buying cars. If people take themselves out of the market and there's a softening of the demand, then that would have an adverse effect on pricing in the sense that it will force prices down. So it would be a good thing for consumers, but it would be an adverse thing for what the dealers have grown accustomed to over the last 14, 15 months.
So, Pops, we got a comment here from Adam. Used car value is declining. Adam, it couldn't be further from the truth, and I think this will be the first piece of data that we look at for the night. And I want to pose a question here to you, Pops.
Yes.
I've got the Black Book report. This is the most recent market insights from Black Book from last week. We get a new one this coming Tuesday.
Yes.
We'll publish content around that as well.
We would?
Likely, if you want to see it first, Instagram story. So your Advocate Alliance on Instagram or join_YAA on Twitter. I'm trying to get better about posting things live as they're happening. But I mean, we're seeing, Adam, prices of wholesale and retail used cars go up.
Yes.
And it actually makes me want to pose a question to you, Dad. And just for everyone that's maybe new to the channel, this red line on this chart, each dot represents 1 week, and the red line is neutral. It means week over week, there was no change.
Yes.
So you can see, for example, I don't know, the third week of this year. So that would have been the week of, what was it, the 18th of January of this year. It looks like the blue line, which is cars, had no significant price change week over week for their wholesale prices versus, I don't know, this was, this is June of 2020.
Yeah.
So this goes all the way back to 2020.
Yes.
So June of 2020, we saw almost 2% increase in the price of cars. And then more recently, this was back in March, April, that time period, we saw a 2% increase.
Yes.
So then we saw this decline, right? Again, everything below the red line is a decline in used car prices. We saw 7 continuous weeks.
Yes.
Of wholesale used car prices.
If I may,
you looking over here?
Yeah. Look at last year this time, from September through the end of December.
Honestly, even into the beginning of January of this year.
And what you'll notice is that everything was below the red line, was below the neutral line. So they were registering declines, even though there were weeks where there might have been slight increases. It was still below what had been.
It was a week over week decline.
Yes, and that lasted quite some time from when it started, and this time it didn't last nearly as long before we started seeing increases in the wholesale prices. And conversely, when you have increases in wholesale prices, you inevitably have increases in retail prices because the dealers are paying more at the auctions to buy these cars.
Now, one question I have for you, Dad. Why did we see this 7-week decline in wholesale prices? What's your theory around that? And my follow-up question is going to be, because again, we're saying right now is the best time to buy a car.
Yes.
If you have to.
Yes.
What are the leading indicators that are going to tell us, like, hey, used car prices are going to go back down, new car inventory is going to go back up? So two-part question. One is, what's our theory for why we saw 7 straight weeks of decline?
Yeah.
And then the follow-up, what's our leading indicator to suggest that things are going to get better?
I think there was a certain sense of seasonality, even though there hasn't been the seasonal issues that we've had in the past, there's still some seasonal pressures as you start to get towards August and into September. So I think that was part of the reason for the decline. But then we started seeing indications from the manufacturers that the chip shortage was much more severe than what they had been letting on, that they weren't able to increase their production to the levels that they had hoped, that they were going to continue to lose cars to production. And so when dealers started seeing that, they started thinking to themselves, well, if we can't be in the new car business and we're a dealership, then we have to be in the used car business. So they started trying to stock their lots with used cars again. So that's what I think happened.
So part of my theory around this is that we saw a softening in demand for that period of time.
Yes.
This was the end of stimulus checks. Yes. And this was also, the lead up to this was week over week and month over month, the seasonally adjusted retail rates for how many vehicles were being sold were on par with what the expectations were. We ran for a considerable amount of time. The demand wasn't going down, I guess is the point I'm trying to make, even as prices were continuing to go up. Then it seems like we hit a little bit of an inflection point where it seemed like people were taking themselves out of the market.
Yes.
So we saw some softening in price. Then what we've seen more recently isn't an increase in demand. I don't think we've seen an increase in demand. I think our push and petition for stop buying cars is actually partly working.
Yes.
What I think is happening is the seriousness and severity and longevity, big words.
Lots of them strung together nicely.
Thank you.
Yes.
Of the semiconductor shortage are being realized.
Yes.
We saw, I posted it last night on our Facebook and on our Instagram as my dad and I were waiting to go to dinner with my sister and her fiance. I just took screenshots from Automotive News. It was ugly. It was ugly. And it's the realization. The White House is getting involved to try and understand, okay, what's actually happening here?
Are there manufacturers hoarding chips? Are manufacturers just not telling the truth? Are the vehicle manufacturers?
And let's be clear.
Yeah.
Are manufacturers not telling the truth? Of course they're not telling the truth because they're publicly traded companies. They got to position this as best they possibly can. I think the real severity of the chip shortage, people are starting to see and feel and think about that. And as dealerships are looking at inventory, you're right. They're hearing from them. I think this increase in used car values that we're seeing is primarily driven by dealer principals now getting told more accurate information about when they're actually going to get new inventory.
Yes.
And they're saying, "Oh shit, we got to
sell
cars.
We got to be in some type of
car
business, and it's going to be the used car business. It's just
again.
What it is.
So the reason being, why is now the best time to buy if you have to? Because I don't think that's going to change, and I don't think
it's not going to change anytime soon.
And what is our leading indicator to suggest that it is changing or changes amongst us? I bet you it's when we start to read some headlines from ASML Corporation, TSMC, Taiwan Semiconductor Corporation, Intel. The tenor and tone needs to change from those businesses, and their forecasts need to change. And I bet you'll see that reflected in Wall Street too.
And the other thing has to change is that the pandemic is really under control, and not just in the United States,
primarily in Asia.
In Asia, that's where most of the chips are produced. And if the chip manufacturers can't keep their workforce at a high enough level, they can't produce the chips they need to produce. And if they keep losing available workers to COVID protocols where they're sick and they can't come to work, well, it means they can't produce the chips.
Yep. Spot on, Dad. We had a few donations come through.
Wow.
Let's start here with Core Brent. Thank you, sir.
Yes,
Love your content, guys. We appreciate that. I'm looking at a Kia SUV, but never see the trim or color I want. Is it possible or common to reserve, or will I be able to order said model and trim at the dealership? God bless. Thanks for what you do.
I think at Kia, I don't know that you can order per se.
I don't think
you can. You can go to the dealership and you can ask them to ask their region when they have the color and trim that you want to allocate it to you as a sold order, so that they could allocate it to the dealership and the dealership could bring it in for you specifically.
And we have a step-by-step guide on how to factory order a vehicle.
Yes.
Now, in this case, you're not making a factory order; you're waiting on one for the allocation. Let me see if I can pull that up.
You're waiting on the manufacturer, the distributors to say, okay, here's your allocation, and now tell us what cars within each model line you want color and trim wise.
And there's some steps that you need to take when you go down this path and in this process. So I'm on joinyaa.com. I'm clicking on resources, blog, buying a vehicle in another state. That's a really important one. How to factory order a car in 2021. I'm going to post this in the chat. All sorts of steps here for you to take. So if you're in the market right now and you're either factory ordering or if you're going to be taking one that's coming onto a dealer slot, this is a great article and a great resource. Another great resource, so I'm going to give us a little inception here for a moment. Sorry about that. Another great resource is the YAA Community Forum. I just want to shout out real quick to Space, Justice, Phil, auto advocates on the team, and Kimberly, of course, as well, our F&I auto advocate. If you are currently trying to work a car deal and you need support and you need help, become a premium member, a pro member, post your deals in the review my deal section or your lease deals here. We're here to help. Here's an example from Michelle. I know we're going to talk with Kimberly Klein at the top of the hour at 8 p.m. She's going to join us.
Wow.
8 p.m. Eastern. She actually wants to talk about this deal that Michelle was put in front of or was put in front of Michelle. But you can see here, it's just an incredible amount of support from Space, from Kimberly, We're all here to help and do the best that we can to help you make the most of what's a really tricky situation.
Yes, absolutely.
Pops, we had from Christian P. We have a thoughtful donation. We appreciate that. Just got a 2022 4Runner TRD Sport after seeing used 4Runner prices higher than new. Got the new car at MSRP and felt like the deal of a lifetime.
Well, I wouldn't know that it's the deal of, I wouldn't say it's the deal of a lifetime, but it's a deal in our time.
Yeah, in 2021, that gets that's stamp of approval. That's a great deal.
That is a deal in real time. And it's unfortunate that you have accomplished quite a bit when you've been able to get something like that for MSRP.
I mean, that is a deal in 2021. That is a great deal, honestly, on a 4Runner. We had from RWD, please, 1. Little sis bought a used CX-5 without consulting older brother. Ran a Carfax and found it has not actual mileage. Title after running a Carfax. Was reported by that dealer after they bought it at auction, but they didn't tell her. Thank you for the donation. Pops, give you a soapbox here. How the heck do you try and reconcile a situation like this?
Well, I think I'd go back and scream at the dealer and say, I don't think my sister would have paid this price for that vehicle if she had been given all the information that you guys had that you chose not to share with her. How would you like to compensate her? In what manner? How many thousands of dollars would you like to save her? Because she would have walked away from this had she known that true mileage was unknown.
We have
and true mileage unknown on a vehicle can reduce the wholesale value of the vehicle by 50%, because you can't put a mileage statement in front of a customer and go, well, we don't know what it is.
Yeah,
we don't know what the real miles are. It says right now on the odometer that it has 67,000, but that could be 167. It could be 200. We don't know. So why would anybody pay the same for that car that you don't know the miles on as one that you did?
100%. I just tossed in the chat buying a used car as is. We did a video on that, and you talk in depth in that video the steps you can take to try and reconcile it, where to go, what to do, contacting your state's attorney general, all of that fun stuff. Okay, Pops, I want to transition into an article I saw that I think you might get a kick out of. This came up, and we're going to come back to the chat here in just a moment, but this came up from our friends over at IC Cars, and I thought it'd be interesting for us to talk about.
Is that a Hyundai Santa Cruz that I see? Can I say I just saw one?
Like on the road?
Like when I was walking down here from the hotel to your office, I saw a white one make a left-hand turn onto Wisconsin Avenue. And it was like, oh wow, that's a pretty cool looking little vehicle.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't as cool as the blue Aston Martin that was parked in front of the hotel earlier.
We put a photo of that up on our Instagram. Yeah, very good looking Aston Martin. Great color.
Yeah, but the Santa Cruz is really a pretty cool looking vehicle.
So here we've got the fastest selling new and used cars back in the month of August.
Okay.
Once we have updated data from IC Cars, we'll share it for
from
September
our dear friend
as well.
Julie.
All right, so let's look through some of the numbers. I thought this was interesting. And yes, this is the Hyundai Santa Cruz.
Yeah, it's really good looking.
It's super neat.
I was like, whoa.
You were taken aback by it.
I was. I could have gotten in the back if they would have slowed the hell down. Yeah.
Indeed. All right, so let's start from, everyone can see it, but let's start from bottom to top. Let's start in the top 10.
Okay.
So we've got the average selling price and how many days it was to sell. I'll scroll down to the bottom, though, so we can see what's the industry average right now.
So the industry average is 26 days.
And this is for new vehicles that we're looking at here. New vehicles in August. So just let that sink in for a moment. New vehicles sitting on dealer lots were taking 26 days to sell.
Yeah, less than a month.
Now let's look at the top 10. The
On
Lexus
average,
RX 450 hybrid.
Less than 10 days.
Wow. Toyota 4Runner. To that gentleman who mentioned that they got one at MSRP.
Yes.
Let that sink in.
Yeah.
Under 10 days. Dad, if you were managing a dealership right now and you had a 10-day supply of inventory.
Yeah.
I guess they're selling. If you're selling at MSRP, you found a unicorn dealership that's not adding additional dealer markup. That is an incredible deal.
If it was a dealership that I was working at, that's what it would be.
Yeah, exactly.
And I would fight tooth and nail with the owner to make sure that that's where we left it.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so then we've got in the 8th position the Hyundai Tucson Hybrid.
Not the Tucson.
Not the Tucson.
You know, and I can't remember the last time I was in Tucson, but it is a beautiful city in southern Arizona.
The Subaru Forester. Not surprised to see this on the list because last time we checked, Subaru has a 7-day national
supply of cars.
Inventory.
Yeah.
Toyota Sienna.
Wow.
We've seen pressure on minivans both in the used car market and, of course, in the new car market as well. Again, under 10 days. RAV4 under 10 days. If you're looking for a RAV4 hybrid, those are also very hard to come by right now. The Crosstrek.
Yes, that has turned into a really popular Subaru.
Oh, the Crosstrek.
It wasn't always, a consumer choice, but it really seems to be today.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Then we've got the Mercedes-Benz GLS at under 9 days. There's such limited supply of that.
Yeah, and the aaverage price is only a tad over $97,000.
Your out-the-door price can be a lot more than that.
Well, is a tad over 100. Yeah.
The Chevrolet Corvette under 9 days. If you're looking for one, though, my dad lives in Ventnor City, New Jersey, near Atlantic City.
Yes.
The dealership there, whatever it's called, I drove past that the other day. I'll take video of it. I'm going back there tomorrow.
What used to be Kerbeck, which was the largest Corvette dealer in America.
They had, they
recently sold to Ciocca. And they didn't have nearly as many Corvettes as when Kerbeck owned the dealership, but they still had plenty.
They had no cars on there a lot, but a lot of C8 Corvettes. And then the number one, like you said, the Santa Cruz, taking 8 days to sell right
on
now.
average.
All right, now let's look at
Now I got to tell you.
Go ahead.
I saw the truck.
Yeah.
And it was cute. I don't know that it's $35,000.
Wait. Yeah. First poll of the night.
Yeah.
First poll of the night. Let me create this really quick.
Yes.
When you buy a truck.
Yeah, is it ever cute?
No.
Oh.
Comment. Do you want someone
to call it
cute?
But it was cute.
I am aware of that.
Yeah.
Yes, no. Only if it's Ray Shepska.
Yes. And I'm telling you, it's not $35,000 cute.
It's not $35,000
It is not.
cute. First poll of the night, we got that up. Let's look at the at used cars. I think it'd be really fascinating. Let me scroll down here so I don't make everyone seasick.
Okay.
All right, so we've got the used cars. Let's look first at the average. So used cars are selling a little bit more slowly based on the IC Cars data, what they have.
Yes, but still it's under 35 days. So basically, a dealership can be turning their entire inventory in a month.
Yeah. We've got top 10.
Yeah.
We've got many Teslas in the top 10. We've got the Tesla Model S selling in 25 days.
Yes.
The Tesla Model X in 24 days.
Yes.
Mitsubishi Outlander in 24.
That surprises me.
Why does that surprise you?
Because it's a Mitsubishi.
But look at the price point.
Yeah. Okay.
People looking for something that has the functionality, but
it doesn't have the high price tag.
Mitsubishis are probably more popular than they ever have been because...
And here's the truth of the matter. Mitsubishi doesn't make a bad vehicle.
Yeah.
They really don't.
Yeah.
But they don't have the greatest reputation in this country.
No, they definitely don't. Volkswagen Golf Gti, 24 days.
Wow.
The Mitsubishi Eclipse, again, look at the price point.
Yeah.
We're
Eclipse Cross, yeah.
One of the things when we reference back on the Black Book data that subcompact, compact cars and subcompact crossovers and things like that are so popular is because the price points are lower.
Yes.
Well, a brand like Mitsubishi has a lower resale value, so it's going to be. Honda Insight, 22 days. The Toyota Prius, 22 days. A BMW 4 Series, 22 days. The Highlander Hybrid. Look at the price on a used Highlander Hybrid.
Wow, yeah.
And then the Tesla Model 3 all the way down there at 17
days. Jeez.
So cars are just flying off the lot, whether they are new cars or used cars. They are just
I found some of this interesting.
Yeah, so let me share the screen again with everyone. So one of the things that IC Cars does is they break down by some geographic areas as well. So we have fastest selling new and used cars in August by city.
Yes.
So Albuquerque, for example, the fastest selling new vehicle was the Nissan Sentra.
Do you know why that would be?
Would be the Toyota Tundra. Why is that?
Albuquerque is not a particularly affluent area.
Sure.
And a Sentra would be a relatively inexpensive vehicle. So that's why I think the Sentra does well in the Albuquerque market.
Yeah, makes sense.
Now, Santa Fe is an affluent area, but
I don't think Santa Fe made the list.
But that has that has a lot smaller population than Albuquerque.
Look at the average time to sell in some of the larger metros.
Yeah.
We've got Austin here, for example, 4.1 days.
Yeah, unbelievable.
We've got Columbus here with the Kia Telluride.
Yeah.
And this is the new column, new cars right now.
Yeah.
1.5 days.
Oh, my God.
Let's see. Are there any others that are in that range? I mean, Miami's at 4.6. Nashville down here with the Toyota Tacoma.
Yeah.
Orlando with your RAV4s at 3.1. I mean, it's kind of unbelievable what's happening here. And then back on the used car side. Look at that.
Then we go down to the last one. West Palm Beach, Florida, 2.7 days for the Toyota RAV4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's look back up here at some of the used, see if there are any real big outliers there. I mean, 13 and a half days for the Fiat over in
now,
Phoenix.
I find that particularly funny that, anybody in Phoenix would buy that car. That's just me.
That's just you.
Yeah. But they must be cheap, which is why they're getting purchased.
GMC Acadia in the Grand Rapids area.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Here you go. The Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Toyota Prius Prime, 5.7 days on average.
Really, really, really incredible information that we're seeing here. And it's just, again, indicative. But the storyline from the beginning of the stream, and we're sticking with it, if you have to buy right now,
it's going to be cheaper today than it will be tomorrow.
First comes first, stopbuyingcars.com.
Yes.
It doesn't really exist yet, but we own the domain name. So eventually, you're gonna go there. My dad's face is gonna show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm gonna do?
No, I don't.
I'm gonna
you never tell me.
Okay, actually, I'm not gonna tell you. I'm just gonna do it.
Okay, you're just gonna do it. What the hell are you gonna do?
And I'll show you next time.
Oh my God.
All right, let's scroll back up, Pops. If you found that data interesting, let us know. We can do our best to make sure we're always incorporating that into our streams. We've got from Chris here a thoughtful donation, which we appreciate. Thank you, Chris. Well, guys, I've done it again. Thanks to YAA, secured $1,000 off MSRP today on wife's new 22 Impreza.
Wow, that is great.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's after securing $6,000 off his STI a few weeks ago.
Wow.
Pops,
nicely done.
Pops, toss him on.
My God. Well, I think with the money he saved, he should be buying us a steak dinner.
I mean, that there is a possibility. We're going to do the first of hopefully many tonight.
Yeah.
You ready for it?
Yeah.
You want me to do it?
Yeah, go ahead.
The Rashevska steak. Approval.
Damn-lutely.
That was a good job.
Yeah.
Nice job, Chris. That's great to hear.
Yeah, nicely done.
Okay, Dad, I asked you to do a little bit of pre-work before we came on tonight.
Yes.
I want to review that next. Then we'll open it up to the chat. We'll answer some questions. And then again, Miss Kimberly Klein coming on about half an hour at the top of the hour.
Okay.
She's got a few things that's top of her mind, and she'll join us then.
Okay.
So, Pops, I asked you in advance of coming on tonight, I thought it'd be interesting.
Yeah.
What are 5 things that car dealers do that are unfair, pushing the boundary, a little unethical potentially to some or others? 5 things that are unsavory that happen at a dealership, but they still happen.
Hello? No. So you tasked me with that unknowingly. And so I sat down, and here's the 5 that I came up with off the top of my head. And I'm sure that I could probably come up with another 5 if I had to. One of the things...
Wait a second, Pops.
Okay.
We got Chevy Dude in the chat.
Chevy Dude!
That's cool.
Welcome. How are you, my friend? We're glad to have you aboard.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, man. Just quick side note. I recently started. We're gonna get into what my dad's sharing here. I recently started my personal YouTube channel. Let me share my screen really quick, and you'll be able to see. So, I just posted a video 2 hours ago. You can see it right there.
Really?
Yeah. How one email turned into $4.8 million, and you can do it too. We raised venture capital, and I literally show the email that I sent, cold email that I sent when we raised that money. The reason I bring this up is because we've been working on YAA for about 2 years
It'll
now.
be 2 years, the middle of December.
Oh my. You can't do that, man. I mean, I know I just said we raised $4.8 million, but I don't know if I can donate that much back to you.
Oh my God. Well,
thank you. Thank you. The reason I bring this up is because when you start a business, you do research, right?
Yes.
And one of the things that I did was I researched all the YouTubers that are out there. The OG, which stands for...
You know what? I had original guard. I don't know. Original... Gangster. You had me listening to rap videos earlier.
I did.
I forget what the hell I was going to say. Oh, well, you researched YouTubers.
Yeah.
I had to research YouTube because I had no idea what the hell it was. So yeah, I think my research was much more significant than yours.
Possibly. Well, thank you for the contribution. Thanks for
Yes.
supporting YAA. You were one of the first people I saw out there. Ari Janessian of Boston Automotive Consulting
Yes.
as well. He's out there. He's a great guy.
And Marco
Whiteboard Finance. Marco
Yeah.
recently had his first kid, which is beautiful.
Congratulations,
and awesome.
Marco.
So, okay. Thank you for that, Chevy Dude.
Yeah.
Glad to have you in the house. And I really screwed myself over by saying we raised all that capital. And
Yeah.
But
why would anybody want to donate money to you now?
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Really good
Maybe because you're honest and transparent. Yeah.
Just enough.
That could be part of it. So
5 things that aren't honest and transparent.
Well, they can be. They're just not necessarily fair or savory. Number one would be dealers that charge excessive dock fees. Okay. And I'm particularly thinking about our dear friends in Florida that get screwed over day in and day out, where Florida is the wild, wild west of dock fees, $999, and a lot of dealerships for dock fees. And then you can't forget that there was at least one dealership that charged, what was it, $1,695 or $1,995 for the Central Florida Friends and Family Program. All right, apparently I'm going to hear something. I don't have any family in Central Florida. I'm not looking for any family in Central Florida. There you have it. But I could be available for Thanksgiving dinner if the offer was good enough. So that's number one, excessive dock fees. In some states, they're capped. I can tell you, like in Maryland, when I first started in Maryland, it was, I think, $99, and it went to $199, and now I believe it's up to $500. In California, it's capped at $85, which legitimately is the way it should be, because the dock fee is nothing but a profit center, a hidden profit center for the dealership.
Yep.
One of the ways they can bring you in with a low price is they know, well, they're automatically going to charge you an extra $1,000 in the dock fee, so that makes up for it.
Yep.
Number two, forcing customers to have to buy pre-installed unwanted accessories at inflated prices. Examples are nitrogen tire fill, low jack paint and interior protection, window tint, things of that nature. It would be like this. This is the example I give. When I used to fight with my Acura rep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that were supposed to be a luxury car brand or near luxury. And we had a business meeting, dealer meeting in Chicago, and they put the dealers up in the Ritz-Carlton or the Four Seasons. Okay, that's where we stayed.
Wow.
Now, I stayed in a Four Seasons, and obviously there was nice robes. And it can rain a lot in Chicago, and they provide you with an umbrella in your closet. Now, what they didn't do is they didn't say your room is $269. Oh, and by the way, there's 2 robes in your closet, and those are each $30 a night that we're going to add for the room charge. Oh, and you know, it rains a lot, so we put an umbrella. Those are $25 a night. No, it was just $269. There weren't these upcharges that they forced you to take the things that they put in the closet for you.
There is, though, in the hotel space, the equivalent dock fee with like your service fees and whatnot.
Which is the resort fee,
Yeah,
that is the hotel industry's BS dock fee. Apparently they probably learned that from the car dealers, because I mean, you know, they might advertise like we're staying in the Bellagio when we go back to Vegas, and I think it was $80 a night, but it's $45 a night dock fee. I mean, resort fee. So it's really $125. All right, better put this on. There's not a big enough bowl to make that much poop. Exactly, and so those type of things that I think are unfair and unsavory.
Yep. Number three is some dealerships will excessively, as a lot of
customers don't understand this. And I'm not talking about our community members necessarily. I'm talking about customers in dealerships. They might not understand that the dealer, when they apply for a loan for you, they get an approval back from the bank, and the bank says, we're going to charge X percentage rate. It might be, say, 2%. Well, the dealer doesn't have to share that information with you, and the dealer can say, your interest rate on this loan is 4.49%. So an excessive markup of the buy rate that the dealer is given from the bank is unfair and unsavory. I'm not suggesting that the finance department isn't entitled to make money for having placed the loan. They are. They just aren't entitled to do it in an excessive manner. If you add 2.5 points to a $40,000 loan, well, that can add up to, I don't know, $3,000-$4,000 in finance reserve for the dealership.
Same thing on leases, money factors. They can up as well, and are frequently right now.
Yes.
Number 4.
When the F&I department excessively marks up their protection packages or programs that they go over with you. Vehicle service contract. They might tell you it's $4,000. Well, that contract might cost them $1,500.
Yep.
Okay, you don't have to mark it up 2.5 times. Gap insurance that might cost the dealership $375 doesn't have to be marked up to $995.
Yep.
So those type of things where the charges for these protection packages are exorbitant.
Yep.
And last, and this one really frosts my cookies when a dealership does it.
That's a new ad lib.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm excited about it.
But when a dealership will advertise a price for a used car and you come in and the price might be $29,995, and then the first thing they do when you get ready to buy it is to remind you that there's a $1,500 reconditioning charge that gets charged to every one of their used cars. Well, no, that should be factored into the asking price initially. It's not something that, it's the asking price, and then you're going to ask the customer to pay for the reconditioning separately. So that is unfair and unsavory, and probably borderline fraudulent because they use the lower price to get you to come in.
I'm sensing a little fireworks going on right there.
There are. Let's face it. There have been times.
You're much closer to the mic now and much louder now.
Okay. What I was going to say is not too many years ago, it was hard for a lot of dealerships to actually be profitable. Okay.
On the front end, be very clear about that.
Net profitable. Okay. After all expenses, most dealerships operated on 1 or 2%. Making it to the bottom line as net profit. And there were an awful lot of dealerships that weren't profitable. Today, that number is probably closer to 4.5%, 5%. And dealerships are definitely entitled to make a profit. I mean, people invest millions of dollars to build these facilities, and they expect to get a return on their investment. And they are entitled to get a return on their investment. The only thing that I would ask is that they do that in a fair and compassionate manner that doesn't require taking advantage of people and using fraudulent techniques in order to extract those dollars from the customer. Be upfront. Be honest. I mean, dealerships might be amazed as to how much easier it could be for everybody involved if they were upfront and honest.
So let's switch gears, Pops. We've had some thoughtful contributions come in from Anaphylaxis. Thank you, Anaphylaxis.
Thank you, Anna.
I've learned so much from you guys. We really appreciate you being a part of this. David Henning as well. Well, I can't do $7 anymore, so here's $10.777 for life. Thanks for being a part of this.
Thank you, David.
David as well. I hear there, Pops. Igor likes your frosted. And here we go. Here we go. We need a YAA t-shirt that has, that frosts my cookies.
Yeah.
I think I agree. Pops, we had the poll that we ran earlier. Let me see.
There was a poll?
There was a poll.
Yes, I kind of remember. There was a poll somewhere.
Where'd it go?
Something about cute trucks.
Cute trucks.
Yeah.
Pops, When you buy a truck,
Yeah.
do you want someone to call it cute?
Yes.
59% said no.
Okay.
31% said
Yes.
only if it's Ray Shefska saying it.
Yeah.
And 8% said yes. The 8% of you, go find those Hyundai Santa Cruzes.
I'm telling you, it's cute as a button.
All right, so one other thing I want to do, then we're heading into the chat. Then Miss Kimberly Klein is joining us at the top of the hour. Pop the headphones on, Pops.
Okay.
Pop the headphones on, Pops.
I
And
like
again,
that.
if you are new here to the channel, we go live every Saturday night. We also go live for members only on Thursday nights.
Yeah.
And again, if you're new to the channel, there are all sorts of resources. YAA is here to help you. We have our community forum with our auto advocates. We also have, if you log into your account, let me log in. If you log into your account, which I guess I wasn't logged in, let me sign in with Google. We have our live chat with auto advocates Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern. The success stories that I have seen from people chatting with Mario, and Phil, Kimberly, Justice.
Yes,
it's
pretty
just
incredible.
It's just incredible. So consider becoming a YA member. We are here to help. It's a
We
tough
even
market.
had a Canadian success story.
We got a Canadian success story.
Yeah.
So there you go. I just wanted to do a quick promo for
Canadian success
joinyaa.com.
story, eh?
You do say our domain names. Say please go to join
YAA, eh?
Okay.
Join YAA.com, eh?
All right. We had some questions that were sent in to us. If you want to, in the future,
Yes.
have your questions answered live on the show,
Yeah, really?
leave us a voicemail at 800-674-5042. We've got 2 questions that came in, voicemails that came in. We want to answer them live, okay?
Hello, my name is Alex. I live in Virginia, and a fun fact about me is that I am a software developer. I'm trying to get my first ever car. I'm looking at either like a Toyota Corolla or Honda Civic. If you could help me out, then that would be great. Thank you.
So that's from Alex.
Okay.
So he's buying his first car.
Yes.
He's a software developer in Virginia.
Yes.
In this market, Deb,
Yes.
if someone's a first-time car buyer,
Yes.
what do they especially need to know? So maybe we can tell people go to deal school, things like that. But in this market, first-time car buyer like Alex, what's he need to know going into that process?
He needs to know to work the out-the-door price of the vehicle. So first, Alex, you need to go in, find the car.
And by go in, do you mean
you could do it online? You can do it by phone. You can do it by text. But you need to establish that there's a car that you want at whatever particular dealership it is, and try to agree to a price either by email, phone, or text. So you want to get what the MSRP is, what any dealer installed accessories are, and then work whatever type of discount you can, and find out what the total cost of the car or the out the door price of the car is going to be. And by out the door, that includes all state, county, city fees, plus tax, license, and dealer doc fees.
and let's back up just one more moment. What are some, because he mentioned 2 vehicles in there. He mentioned the Civic.
A Civic or a Corolla.
A Corolla.
Yes.
When you meet a first-time car buyer,
Yes.
You've had some of my sister's friends, my friends say, Pops, Ray, what car should I get?
Yeah.
Let's start even there. Because again, when it gets to negotiating, it's the out-the-door price and the out-the-door number.
Well, you want to start with brands that have a good track history. Okay, that have really a good track record for longevity, inexpensive to maintain, and you also, he could be a recent college graduate. I don't know if he is or he isn't, but if he is, there could be recent college graduate programs from the various manufacturers. And so, yes, you want to look for reliable cars that historically have been reliable. Honda, Toyota. So either a Civic or a Corolla is a great choice. Mazda is another fine choice. Subaru is a good choice. Most of your Asian brands tend to be good, reliable, relatively inexpensive vehicles to maintain. So that's the first thing you want to concern yourself with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then when you've gotten past that, it's locating and finding. One of the things I'm super excited about that we're working on
Would that be listings?
We're working on listings, should be out relatively soon before the end of the year. So you'll be able to search back on joinyaa.com to find available inventory, but you can also run our market price reports as well in the meantime. So then you find the vehicle, then you negotiate the out the door price. What should you expect as a first time car buyer? You mentioned some recent college graduate incentives potentially. Is there anything else that as a first time buyer you should be
Yes,
really...
you need to take somebody with you to hold your hand so that you don't get taken advantage of. Because
like our live chat.
Because legitimately, salespeople are going to be smacking their lips when they find out that this is the first car you've ever bought. You're a first-time buyer, and you don't really know anything about the process.
Should you be saying that you're a first-time? Oh, I guess with the college graduate?
Yes,
Yeah.
With the college graduate program, you should. But you need to bring somebody along that can help you through the process. Somebody that has purchased a car in the past, whether it be a parent or a close friend, whatever. Somebody that has gone through this process before, so that they can prevent you from encountering all the pitfalls that you normally would as a first-time buyer.
I want to pose a question to you about finance as a first-time buyer.
Yes.
However, in advance of that, I want to reference back on the website. This is a free guide that we wrote. I think it's how to read your contract, because that's one other piece that's really, really, really difficult.
Yes.
Your vehicle purchase agreement, how to read
and
understand it. We did this is from last year. But your contract hasn't changed. Just because there's additional dealer markup and everything, this hasn't changed. We literally took a retail installment contract and section by section broke down what you're going to see. So Alex, as a first-time car buyer, don't be surprised when you see it.
Yeah.
Right? This is a way, our hope by producing stuff like this is that, and I experienced it when I bought a first car. I wasn't familiar with this.
You're not like a deer in the headlights.
And I wasn't, because you were sitting next to me, but you don't have to either because you have access to it.
Well, right, Alex isn't going to have me sitting next to him.
He's got a live chat.
Yeah, and he seems like a really nice young person, but I'm not going to be able to be there for him.
Okay, final question.
Not physically.
Physically. Final question for you on this first-time car buyer.
Yes.
What do you need to know about financing as a first-time car buyer? What do you expect there?
Well, if you are a recent college graduate, the captive lenders will, and if you have no negative credit history at all, you might have a very limited credit file. But if you have absolutely no negative reports, then they will look at you as if you were a tier 1 credit person. So they can offer you and get you approved for the best rates that the captive lender has available. But the other thing I would suggest, even if you're a first-time buyer, is go make friends with somebody at a local credit union or a local bank. See if you can get pre-approved before you go to a dealership, so that you have some idea as to what interest rates should be, because what you don't know is that they're going to try and take advantage of you interest rate wise at the dealership, because they're going to just see you as an opportunity to make a lot of money.
Yep. Yeah.
All
right, there you go, Alex. Hope that helped. Again, call and leave your voicemails. We'll answer them live on the show moving forward. 800-674-5042. We appreciate it.
Yes.
We also appreciate Moose Man, the Canadian success story.
There you have it.
Thank you. Saved almost $3,000 Canadian off MSRP on a 2021 Sierra 1500 Elevation Duramax, plus all the F&I nonsense I didn't buy.
Well, congratulations, Moose Man. That deserves a what are we giving him?
I think we might give.
We could give him a yeah, buddy, A.
Buddy, A. We'll probably start here.
If I blow up, ladies and gentlemen, it's only because
I had an internal sneeze.
No sneeze?
Well, not a sneeze.
You think maybe more of like a alarm into a stamp?
Reshevska stamp.
Apparently, we have to get a Canadian stamp of approval now.
We'll work on a Canadian stamp of approval here.
Yeah.
Shortly. Okay, Pops, we've been answering all sorts of questions that I teed you up with. Let's answer a few questions here from the chat. And again, Miss Kimberly Klein should be joining us in about 10-ish minutes, okay?
10-ish?
Christina Green from the Twitch. I love it. I'm seeing more people.
Twitch.
I'm seeing more people from Twitch.
What is Twitch?
Not a clue.
Oh, that's the gaming one. That's the one, the site that Kyler Murray was on, and that was the one that Devin Booker uses for.
And now we do too.
Yeah. Wow.
Thank you for being here.
if I may be so bold, we folks are branching out.
we are definitely
Yeah.
branching out.
Yeah.
Speaking of branching out, I'll post some stuff in the. Well, actually, all right. Here's the deal. We're going to move into live chat. We'll do some rapid fire. We'll help as much as we can, as quickly as possible. But yes, I will do a quick promotion for how we are branching out.
Oh my God.
If you search YouTube right now
Yeah.
for Ray and Zach,
Yeah. We pop up.
there is some scary content that we have put on the internet. For example, I asked my dad to react to Drake's most recent song. We also have some of our old podcast content here.
Yes.
Anyway, that's the throw.
Yes.
I suggest you watch it.
Yeah.
We find ourselves to be quite funny.
I think I'm pretty hilarious. And that Drizzle character, he's not bad either.
Drizzle is very popular.
Yeah.
Rapid fire, let's go into the chat. Sound good?
Oh, okay.
All right. Here we go. From Javier. How do you talk price on a car that's far away, say 300 miles? While you answer this, I'm going to pull up our How to Buy Here.
Loudly, you scream, Javier.
That was good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Phone calls, texts, emails, step-by-step guide on how to buy a vehicle.
Yeah, you wrote this just a couple weeks ago.
I did.
We literally...
you might find this hard to be. I know I think of myself as trying to be retired, but, I actually do spend some time writing some of this stuff.
Yes. There we go. So pop that in the chat for... Let's keep going here. Buy used from a private seller, thank me later. That's one option. Just if you are, make sure you get a
PPI or a pre-purchase inspection.
Big Apple voiceover wants to know, would a salesperson allow Ray to be there on FaceTime real time when I buy my truck? I don't know if the salesperson would allow that. Would Ray allow that?
Yeah, Big Apple voiceover. I'm not 100% sure that they would allow that. That would be like what we in the car business call that friend of yours that's sitting next to you, the third baseman, who has absolutely nothing to do with the deal. That would be me. That's why we have the live chat so that
you can just look like you're texting.
Yeah,
and
that
get
you're
help.
texting. You're just saying, "Hey, I'm phoning a friend, or I'm texting a friend. I need to ask him a quick question," and one of our auto advocates will help you with that.
MDX versus RX 350 2022, best option? Just rapid fire, which one you taking?
Well, you know me. I'm an Acura guy. I'm an MDX guy.
Cheaper cost to own.
Cheaper cost to own, cheaper the initial purchase price.
Yep.
The Lexus RX 350 is a very, very fine vehicle. Don't misunderstand me. I just happen to be an Acura guy.
Carrie, I want to order a Ford Maverick hybrid, but I don't know if I should wait. I can wait if I need to, but should I?
Didn't we read somewhere recently that they're putting the hybrid on hold?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
So
I think you have an answer.
So I don't know. It's a good thing you could wait, because I believe you're going to have to wait.
Jeff Brown, cute dog. I am buying a car soon, and I have saved up $2,000 for a down payment, and I have about $10,000 left on my current loan. Should I use that $2,000 as down payment, or use it to pay down my loan?
Doesn't matter. If you're trading the car, then it's the same. You'll use it to pay down your loan. If you're selling your trade somewhere else, and I'm guessing just for a minute that perhaps the car's worth more than the $10,000 that you own.
Should be in this market.
It depends what it is.
Know, but yeah.
So it doesn't make sense to put the extra $2,000 against the car loan.
No, just use it as down payment. From Donald, we've got, I got my car because of you guys. Been watching since only 5,000 subscribers. Great to see you reach 100,000. Thanks for being part of this, Donald.
Thank you, Donald. Yeah.
We had a really nice and thoughtful donation come in from Craig here. Dealers in South LA are putting a large percent of salvage title trucks from all over the U.S. on the lot that have been repaired. Second vehicle to lightly drive until the chip shortage ends. Thoughts? What are your takeaways from put both your dealership perspective on? So why are the dealerships selling these salvage title cars?
Because one of the reasons they're selling them is it's the only cars they can get their hands on in many cases.
Then as a consumer, what do I need to know in terms of reliability and resales? What
you need to know is that there are some insurance companies out there that will not even won't allow you to insure the vehicle. They won't write insurance on a vehicle with a salvage title. Typically, if at a dealership, if you were to have somebody try and trade in a car with a salvage title, instantly it was worth at minimum 50% less than what the book values
So
were.
you're chopping it in half.
Absolutely in half. And then the other problem is you don't know what the damages were and the quality of the repairs that were done. So for me, is a salvage truck cute? It could be. It could
It's a
be
Hyundai
if
Santa
they. It
Cruz.
could be if they put the wrong front end on it.
That was
So.
good.
So I would if it were me, I would stay clear of any salvage or branded
Even
title.
as a second car in this, if you need a second car in this market, don't buy a salvage title car. That's
You're going to pay too much, and you're going to get way too little for it when you go to get rid of it.
Here you go, Leon. True, lots of mechanics cannot fix flood cars. Yeah, I mean, just avoid them as best you can.
Yeah.
And here you go. You say from Igor. Igor, thanks for being here tonight. Thanks for being so active in the community as well, Igor.
Yes, thank you, Igor.
Those people bring them back, and you are dealing with those customers rather than selling normal cars. Also, registering them at the state's probably going to be more difficult.
But there are a lot of insurance companies that won't insure them.
Yes. All right, so we've got Kimberly Klein joining us. Miss Kimberly Klein, about 5-ish minutes. We'll be tapping her in. I know she's got some things she's very passionate about, so we'll have her in just a few moments. Do insurers insure salvage cars?
A lot of them don't.
Yeah.
A lot of them will not.
Yep.
Once they've been declared a total loss and paid off and paid for by an insurance company, other insurance companies will choose not to cover that vehicle again.
Here we go. We've got from Raymond Delgado, a longtime YAA community member. Thanks for being here, Raymond. Dealer won't tell me the out-the-door price via email, but keep replying. They will give me a lower price from my best quote for a 2021 Pilot if I come in. BS or real practice? How do you handle this if you're Raymond? Do you go in, and if you do, what do you expect? What do you do?
It's BS. And you just, I would just say to them, listen, I know you don't want to give it to me. And I know the reason you don't want to give it to me is you're certain that I'm going to shop you against other dealers. So if you know that's the case, and you know that the only way I may come in is because you finally provided me this information, then just give me your best price, and the chips will fall where they fall. But no, you're not going to reel me into your dealership so you can hope that you'll keep me there for hours on end, and I finally just say yes. No, we're not doing it like that.
Yoni Barron in the house. Thanks for being here, Dr. Barron. No vehicle service contracts or extended warranties on salvage title either. That's a great point. Jake wants to know, what is our favorite midsize truck? It's definitely a Hyundai Santa Cruz.
Well, they're the cutest.
And then we've got from SpotCom, can you speak to the Defense Production Act being used? So it hasn't been used yet.
Yeah, but
however, the White House
is talking about maybe invoking it when it comes to chips.
Which, if you've been around long enough, you know that is not going to move the needle on anything, unfortunately, in part because it takes so much capital in such amount of time to get the machines from ASML.
Yeah, but you don't need that high quality of chip machine for the ones for the automobile industry.
You're spot on.
So, but still, it would be much more time consuming than you would think in order for a manufacturer that's never produced chips before to suddenly have to produce chips.
Yeah,
maybe they can go to Intel or whoever in this country and say, this is what we need, you got to do it. I don't
maybe,
but who knows when that will happen. But at least they're thinking about it as a possibility.
If nothing else, I think it also indicates how serious what's happening is.
Yes.
And makes it very clear to everyone.
And if I may, it's not just cars, it's all consumer electronics that use microchips.
This from Chris Grasso. Emailed the out-the-door price. Sales manager said he was gone for the weekend, be back Monday. Looking at a 2018 Raptor, he said sold 7 2021 and getting 3 more trades. So I have 6 to choose from. Confused. So am I, Chris.
Yeah.
I click on them and you never know what's going to happen. But there you go. All right, let's answer one more question here in the chat. Now let's bring in Miss Kimberly Klein. This is from Vernon. My lease is ending in November. It has positive equity. Who should I sell the car to?
You should buy the car and keep it for yourself. And you will continue to have positive equity in that car moving forward, probably for quite some time, because you know that car, you know how it's been taken care of, you know how it's been driven. And yes, you could buy it and then sell it and reap the profit, but if you have to go and get another vehicle, that profit's going to be eaten up when you overpay for your next vehicle.
Exactly. So if you don't need to replace it, then sure, buy it and sell it. And the way to sell it for the most money is likely going to be get a quote from Carvana.
Yes.
We recently did the video about Vroom, but still get a quote from Vroom, see what price they'll offer you, things like that. Also, David Henning, he tossed in a donation earlier, so we'll answer this question last. Last before we bring on Ms. Kimberly Klein. Do you have any info on the infrastructure bill having a hidden part about charging car owners a fee for every mile we drive? That's news to me.
I do not. And probably like most members of Congress, I haven't seen or read the bill, just like them. So who know? I don't know. I don't know. And there's surprises in every bill that goes through Congress, and that very well could be. But I don't have an answer for you.
Pops, let's put on the headphones and let's welcome in. I wish I had some intro music. Let's see, what's the best thing
we do need intro music for the F&I goddess herself.
I think we could do this.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Kimberly Klein.
We got the fireworks going over here for you.
Yeah. Can you hear me okay? That's the question.
You're coming in pretty good. Give us
one
shot.
Yeah.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you. That is I have microphone envy again.
Yeah, I know. Let's get over the pink pop filter here. We'll get that first. I know we'll get some comments on that. But
we do have an echo, Miss Kimberly Klein. So I'm gonna remove you. Sorry, Miss Kimberly Klein. If you want to go into the audio settings, there was a bit of an echo. Just make sure, double check, and then we will bring you right back in.
Okay, what does she have to double check? In the audio settings. Don't just tell her to go to the audio settings. Tell her what she has to do.
People do like the mic. So on the audio, click on audio and then the microphone input, and it should just work. I don't know, but there was definitely a bit of an echo.
Yeah, there definitely was.
Well, we will come back to you, Kimberly. Just give me like a thumbs up when you want to give it another shot, and we will bring it back on. There's a lot of good comments now about the microphone.
About the what?
About the microphone.
Well, yeah, that was that was pretty special.
Martin wants to know, Pops.
Yeah.
What do you think he should do in this market?
Well, Martin, I don't know. Do you need a car? Do you desperately need a car? Do you not need a car? Can you live with the car that you have? So it's hard for me to answer that type of question. But I would recommend, it's Saturday night, so I would recommend after the live stream that we all go out and get a drink.
I saw Miss Kimberly Klein switching out headphones, so we'll bring her back here hopefully in just a moment. That being said, Tommy wants to know, is it a good time to lease?
I don't know that it's a good time to lease, but it's a better time to lease than it is to purchase if there's going to be additional dealer markup and things like that. And the reason I say that is because a lease is typically 3 years duration. So in 3 years' time, you will be out from under on the lease. And hopefully we will see some return to normalcy within that time frame. So when you need to get your next car 3 years from now, you'll be in a better position.
All right, Pops, we're going to toss the headphones back on. We're going to see if I have anything better to bring in Miss Kimberly Klein. Let me see. Yeah, we'll give this a quick try.
Yeah, I like that, but can you hear me? That's the question.
We can hear you, and that's going to get a
yeah, buddy.
All right, awesome. Yeah. I know people love the pink pop filter, but we got to put that aside for tonight. So,
how are you?
Sorry.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, long time no see, guys. It's great to see you.
Yes, it's good. It's good to be seen as well.
So I know in advance of coming on tonight, there was something you're very passionate about and you wanted to have the opportunity to share during our stream. I can share my screen and actually pull it up if you'd like. You tell me, and the floor will be yours to kind of talk about this practice that we're seeing that's really just, it's grinding your gears, I guess is the best way to phrase it.
That's a great way to phrase it. Also, it's my cookies are frosted. Let's just say that, okay?
Yeah, see, there you have it. Anybody's cookies could get frosted.
My cookies are frosted, Ray, and you touched on this whenever you were going over the 5 things that Zach had asked about. Oh my God. Okay. This is what I'm seeing more and more and more of, and it's really making me crazy. And that is that they're taking products out of finance and sticking them on the front end, and you don't have the option of discarding those products or saying no to those products.
Yes.
And when you say products, Kimberly, are you saying like these are typically the products that would be sold that you used to sell back in the F&I office, right?
Yes. So things like theft, paint and interior protection. Ray mentioned a couple like nitro and tinting.
Mm-hmm.
I've also seen some dent and ding products that are on the front. And I'm hearing more and more and more of this. Those should be back in the finance office as options to purchase, not to be shoved down your throat. And you are made to buy these things if you want the car. I can't even stand it. It makes me nuts. If you want the car.
I was going to say, I couldn't agree with you more on that. There are legitimate ways that dealerships can sell these things, but it is not a legitimate way to force a customer to have to take and pay for these things simply because, well, the dealer decided they have to. That's so wrong.
It's so wrong on so many levels, Ray.
Yes.
Like I feel like I want to go to Washington and lobby and do political things that mean absolutely nothing. But you know, that's how fired up I am about this. And this is not what
I was just gonna say, and we have a question from David. Why can't we just say no to these add-ons? And I think that's the point you're making is they're putting them on the front end. Like, like they're not even giving you the chance.
And you can say no to those add-ons. You absolutely can say, I just want the OTD. I just want the car, guys. I don't want this and this and this that you're showing. And I want to preface this by saying not all dealerships out there, not all dealerships, but it's becoming a practice that many dealerships are nonchalant about right now. Mm-hmm. And they're just doing it. So you say no. And they say, take it or leave it. And that's just killing me.
Yeah, I mean, you can argue with them, that, well, gee, I don't want this or this. And maybe they'll agree to discount them a little bit. And that's only a maybe. A lot of dealers are just going to look at it and you go, either you buy it or the person waiting outside of my office is going to buy it.
And I want to hit on something here. Because we have a great comment. I want to hit this, square on from Tim in Florida. Why don't you open a dealership and give cars away cheap? So here's the deal. We advocate for fairness, and we advocate, quite frankly, for efficiency. So Tim in Florida, I encourage you, go back on my LinkedIn and read or on our website or on the community, read our manifesto and read our origin story. The reason we started working on YAA was, yes, of course, we want to help people, but it's selfish for me. Because I never saw my dad growing up. I never saw him. Now we spend way too much time together. It's kind of fun though. But I never saw him growing up because he was working at the dealership 12-hour days. He would wake up and he'd leave the house at 7:30 and he'd say, I'm going to go work a half day. And a half day meant he was going to go work 12 hours.
Yeah.
And the reason he had to work those 12 hours is because his compensation was tied to the amount of gross profit he could hold on a car deal. Mm-hmm. And the way that he could hold the most gross profit would be, like grinding someone down, the traditional selling technique. So to your question, why don't we open up a dealership and give cars away for cheap? The whole premise or the whole thought here is that if you do things more fairly, you can actually totally change what's called in business land, the cost infrastructure of the dealership. It's so inefficient right now. And what we're seeing people play the short game. We're seeing people say what you were just describing, which is, well, if you don't want to buy the car with this $3,000 in add-ons, well, we'll just sell it to the next person. Mm-hmm. And the issue with that is, I'm never coming back. You treated me like crap, and I'm going to remember that.
Yes.
And so we're preaching play the long game. We're just looking for people out there, and that's why we have the YAA community, the dealership reviews. We don't want to open up a dealership and give cars away for cheap. But if we did open up a dealership, it would be fair,
it would be transparent.
Quick, and yes, everyone would be aware of what's going on. We sell extended warranties, Tim. We make $500 If we sold cars, we'd probably tell you we make $1,000. I don't know. Like, there's just a different way to approach doing things that treats people with respect and fairness, and that's what we advocate for. I wanted to get that off my chest.
Oh, your chest looks a lot smaller now.
But it has the logo on it.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, and nicely
Very-
said, Zach.
Yes, I was just gonna say, very well said, Zach. For sure, for sure. So there's a couple points I want to make here about this. It's wrong. I hate it. It's not something new. I remember the first time where I was working, where they decided to, put a theft etch, I think it was, it's on every car, so you have to sell it. You got to sell it. Well, here's what's not happening. What I'm hearing are people are accepting the deal. They're taking the products because they're forced into it only because they really want the car. Yes, they can walk away and say, screw you, I'm out of here. But they really want the car. They're tired. They're done going back and forth with the dealership. So they take these products. A lot of people that I'm speaking with are not getting contracts, signed contracts on these products. So if you have a vehicle that has dent and ding that was sold on the front, that has, I don't know, name some, Ray. Give me a couple.
Paint protection.
Tire and wheel.
Security.
Excess wear and tear.
So all of those, each one of them will have its own contract.
Yes.
Don't sign the bottom line without making sure that you get a signed contract on each one of these products, people. Don't do it. And
make sure you get the warranty that goes with every one of those items.
So if you're stuck with it,
yes,
at least get the warranty.
Yes,
that comes with the product.
Yeah. And how you want to start this out is you want not just the salesperson, because the salesperson is being strapped with saying, hey, this comes with nitro and whatever, blah, blah, blah. And maybe the salesperson went through a really quick 1-hour class on this product, where the finance manager actually prints out the warranties, knows how the contract reads, and knows the ins and out of that product. So please, when you sit down in front of the finance manager, make sure you don't skip over these things that you were, what I call, forced into taking. You want all your questions answered about these products. You want the finance manager to go over the contract with you line by line. If you have to be a reader, then be a reader, people. You want to go over these things. And you've heard me say this so many times that, listen, these products in the finance office aren't bad products. They're just overpriced. Well, I'm taking a step back, and I think, Zach, you know how you never tell your dad anything? I haven't told you this yet. But on my little list of content, I now have a few things, 3, 4, 5 of them that I dislike and that I want to let people know are not worth it at all.
Products does Miss Kimberly Klein not like? Also, Pops just said his funny bone. But what are the products
Well, I mean, we could do that. We can go over in a deep dive on that later if you want. One of my biggest ones is something called data dots. That's the biggest scam on the planet, I think. Data dots.
We'll leave a nugget out there. When you see a video titled 3 products to never buy in the F&I office, watch that. What's it called? Dippin' Dots will be number 1.
Yeah. Dippin' Dots. Oh my God, you guys. Yeah.
Wedding, aren't we? Yeah.
I hope so. I love Dippin' Dots.
So we'll do a deep dive into some products that I don't like. But you better make sure that you get contracts on this. And I want to touch on this because I know I only have a few minutes here. I'm going to head out here soon. I've got like a Harley outside waiting for me, so I got to run.
Gotcha.
But that's not true. I made that up.
I know.
But yeah. Okay. But I want to circle back because I have been reading legal cases recently. For example, a girl bought her very first brand new car. She's so excited. It's a CPO. Okay, it's a CPO.
Certified?
And certified pre-owned. And I harp on people to get something in writing that it's a CPO, and lo and behold, something broke. I'm sorry, it's not covered. It must be covered. It's a CPO. She goes back to the dealership, can't find the paperwork. Nope, it wasn't a CPO. She did not get any paperwork. And they told her it wasn't. So again, it all comes back to make sure you get those contracts and make sure you get them signed. I hate the fact that they're taking them out of finance and sticking them on the front and forcing you into buying them, but that really drizzles my schnizzle. So
there you have it.
It frosts our cookies.
Yes.
It does. Yeah, my cookies are frosted with schnizzle.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, the good thing we don't have Drizzle with us tonight either. Yeah, Drizzy. It's Drizzy.
My dad is referring to Drake.
Drizzy.
I just want to comment.
Drizzy.
I just want to comment real quick and share with everyone.
Drizzy Drake.
It's Drizzy Drake, Dad.
Drizzy.
Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg.
Share with everyone. If you want support from Kimberly, if you want support from the rest of our auto advocates, we have our live chat again back in your YAA account. Live chat Monday through Friday. Towards the end of the month, we also sometimes go on the weekends as well. Also, Miss Kimberly Klein will help you go through the extended warranty process. So if you're thinking about, with more and more used cars on the road and more people holding on to their cars, we sell extended warranties, vehicle service contracts. You can just enter your VIN and you can get a quote. And you have no strings attached. And if it's a new vehicle, you don't have to schedule a call with Miss Kimberly Klein. You don't. You can actually just buy it right here. You can figure out what term you want, and you can make it happen. The price updates. You can view the coverage contract right here. There's no strings attached, and we make $500, so you don't have to feel like you're getting fleeced. You can also, of course, schedule a call with Miss Kimberly Klein. Her calendar will pop up here. We're here to help. So I just wanted to provide that as some insight for everyone that's on the stream. Miss Kimberly Klein, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Moderately confused by what frosted cookies with schnizzle means, but I support it wholeheartedly.
Schnizzle. Oh, and it was so good to see Yanni. Hey, Yanni. Yes.
You saw this in the chat. Night all, camping with the kids.
Oh, that's so great. Yeah. About the salvage titles too. Yeah, we cannot sell a VSC on salvage title. Correct. Thank you, Yanni.
Correct.
And you go get on that Harley limo.
It's out there waiting. So I got to run, guys. I have such a busy, my social calendar is really full. So I got to run.
Well, thanks. Have fun.
Thanks for being here, Kimberly. Say hi to Sophie for us, and
we'll do.
Talk to you later.
All right. See you guys.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Wasn't that great?
Yes, it was.
Oh, man.
We are so fortunate.
So fortunate to have Miss Kimberly Klein.
Yes.
Pops, we had another thoughtful contribution come in from Dewan301. I plan on purchasing a Nissan Titan 2008 to 2012. This is what we're talking about. Older, used cars, more of them on dealer lots. Is the 5.6 a reliable engine? What are your thoughts on the Titan? My budget is $17,000 for a full-size truck. Thanks.
I think the Nissan engines are a pretty reliable engine. It's the problems that people have had have been with their CVT transmissions, but I think you'd be fine with that on a Titan. We're going to say it. We'll say it till the bitter end. Pre-purchase inspection. Make sure there's no hidden issues that are going to rear their ugly head in a week or two.
Yeah, the big thing with any used vehicle is getting the pre-purchase inspection, making sure that you have something that's mechanically pretty damn close to sound.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a question here from Ted. BMW Lease, $995 acquisition fee. What is that?
The lease acquisition fee, and every leasing company has an acquisition fee, and if I'm not mistaken, the actual acquisition fee is $795, and dealerships
can mark it up.
Yeah, and the dealerships are allowed to mark it up a maximum of $200, and they get a percentage of that markup. But the acquisition fee provides for the gap insurance that is included in a BMW lease, and it is an upfront profit that every lease company gets.
Yep.
with the acquisition fee.
And then-
It's kind of like a loan origination fee.
And
in
for
a sense.
some lease acquisition fees, that goes towards paying for the gap insurance.
Yeah,
on
and
the
this
vehicle.
does on
Yep.
the BMW definitely includes gap insurance.
We've got Igor Koski in the chat setting up his own YAA business plan.
Okay,
which
cool.
we appreciate. YAA
Yeah.
can literally sell their own back-end products under YAA Automotive Administrative Company. We can start. I like where you're coming from, Igor.
Yeah.
If you are interested in the business side of this business, I'm actually kind of like peeling the curtain back
of this
of
of
YAA, of
YAA.
this business.
Yeah.
We do have the Ray and Zach channel that we're working on, and then also if you're interested in it, just Google search or YouTube search my name. I actually posted a video today. If you want to know how much money we made from YouTube, from 0 to 100,000 subscribers, I mean, I literally just open up the YouTube studio and show you. So anyway, my channel, Zach Shefska. Feel free to subscribe to that as well. I also one time got my dad to guess rapper names. That was quite fun. So
Yes,
that's the
it was.
business side of
That's
the
where
business.
Little Money Clips came from.
That is where Little Money
CLIPZ.
hit the like button.
Yeah.
We've got a question here about where and how do I get a pre-purchase inspection. We have a guide on this, which I'll pull up, but our recommendations are find a OEM or manufacturer dealership in your area.
Yes.
If you can't find that, independent mechanic or using a service like a Lemon Squad.
Or what's the other one? Wrench?
No, Lemon Squad's owned by Wrench. I think it's called
okay.
Your Mechanic is
Okay.
the other one. Let me see that we've got I'll share my screen so everyone, when you have questions like these, YAA community, a big recommendation, one of the biggest recommendations I can make is going to our /guides page, joinyaa.com/guides, and just search for it, right? So I'm not even going to put the whole thing. I'm just going to put pre-purchase, and there it is. And we actually did reviews. Kimberly mentioned certified pre-owned. We did reviews of like every certified pre-owned program out there. So if you want to know what the Land Rover CPO program actually covers, or the Volvo, I mean, so we've got a lot of resources here. Here's one on pre-purchase inspection. Where can I get a pre-purchase inspection? When should I do it? What is it? It's all right here. So anyway, I'll leave that with you. joinyaa.com/guides. Lots of useful information there. And Brian says, thanks.
Yeah, well, that's what we're here for.
Exactly. All right, let's see here. This is from Kevin West. At first I thought that said Kanye West.
Yeah.
What is a good
It's his cousin.
It's his cousin.
Yeah.
What is a good average savings on a $40,000 car?
Is this a new car or a used car?
Lots of questions to be asked.
Yes,
right?
if it's a used car, probably the vast majority of dealerships today are doing no haggle pricing on their used cars. If it's a new car, is it $40,000 straight up, or is it $40,000 including additional dealer markup? And in today's world, if you can get a car at MSRP or maybe slightly below, you're doing pretty good. Now, there are some dealers that will work with you a little more than that, but those dealers are few and far between, and it's probably going to require a lot more time, patience, and perseverance to find them.
Yep. We've got from S. Jones, do you plan to have a question and answer session with a service manager? We did a little bit of that with Yanni back in the day. I think we'll bring it back again in the future. So that's a great question.
Yes.
Jig Snap wants to know, how do dealers rate trade-ins with moderate paint damage?
Well, they look at what it's going to cost them. They guesstimate what it's going to cost them to repaint. And typically, the rule of thumb is $500 a panel to paint something. So if there's a paint issue on the hood, the dealer's going to figure it's going to cost them $500. If the clear coat's shot on the hood, the roof, and the trunk lid, then the dealer's thinking to himself it's going to cost him $1,500 to paint that.
Yep. Sarah Conley says, so bummed that I am just now tuning into this. We're bummed too, Sarah.
Well, yeah.
I'm in the market for a 2022 Honda CR-V EXL, having a tough time swallowing $2,000 dealer markups. Yeah, we hear you there.
Yes.
We have the Auto Advocate support, the community forum. Maybe you can find another dealership in your area that might give you one or sell you one at MSRP. And Pops, I think we'll do one quick promotion for our Instagram account. We're posting more and more frequently.
Yeah.
Just search Your Advocate Alliance or here. Let me just make this easy for everyone that's playing along at home. A little Inception action. There you go. Your Advocate Alliance, we're posting more and more frequently. We also did a Who Wore It Better recently. I owe my dad dinner now because he wore it better.
When are you paying?
We're hanging out tomorrow. I'll pay.
Oh, wow.
My dad's Instagram is @RazesJazz. Truly never posts, but when he does, it's pretty golden.
Classic.
Or
Yeah.
it's like a kind of not great photo of his son, which
Yeah.
I appreciate.
Yeah.
And I am at Shefska as well. All right, Dad. You know I struggle with going the distance, I guess is one way you could phrase it.
Excuse me?
We haven't. I have performance issues late in the game.
In other words, you're tired. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but Frank from New Jersey's keeping us on.
Oh, my God. Frank, how are you?
Frank is a salesperson at a Chrysler Jeep
Dealer in Long Island.
Ram dealership.
Yeah.
Hey, YAA community. It's Frank from East Hills Jeep in Long Island.
Yes.
There you go. Just checking in. Haven't been on in a while. We have been busy. We have some inventory, so if you want a fair price, come on down. Frank has helped so many YAA
yes, he
community
really
members.
has.
So East Hills Jeep, Long Island, if
Yes.
anyone's in the area. Also, Miss Kimberly Klein. Yes, need Yanni videos, especially good for us.
Well, that's
who are
more
no
like
longer in the
Melissa, I
market.
think.
Is that what
You said Kimberly Klein.
See, I'm tired.
You are tired.
And Craig already
Yeah.
knows that you're buying dinner.
Yeah.
But yes, we do need more Yanni videos. We will. We will work on some service related stuff in the future. Core
Guy's back.
Core guy keeping me in the game as well. Has Papa Ray been working out? See a lot of markup on those guns.
Yeah, buddy.
Let me see if I have an ad lib for that.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I've got no guns.
Yeah, go ahead. Put your headphones on. I think I got something here for you.
I doubt it.
I think I got something.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
I think it's going to sound a little like.
Yeah. That's what I've been working out. Yeah. I did curb the right front wheel of my car the other day. I only have one wheel left to curb. That would be the right rear. So if you see me,
follow us on Instagram.
Yeah.
We'll show you us doing it tomorrow.
And if you see me trying to back into a spot, you can pull for me and go, get that right rear wheel right.
You're funny, man.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
funny. Here you go. That was the sound of Shady Dealers once this market settles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll be leaving.
That was the soundbite for Should Have Bought Gap. Okay, maybe in the future we'll do more sound bites and see. We'll do some comments about
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
Kyla, I wish I had one that sputtered out, but that was the best I had. Okay, joinYA.com. We're hiring. joinYA.com/careers.
I've heard that.
My dad and I are starting up the Ray and Zach YouTube channel, my personal YouTube channel. Thank you, everyone, for being a part of the community. We are nothing without everyone else that's a part of this.
And may I say, somebody has asked, am I going to the club with Rush tonight? Yes.
If I go to the club, you mean sitting outside having one drink and going to bed.
I'm having a drink? I was just sitting outside.
I'm just sitting outside, too.
I might have a drink.
I'm half marathon trained.
that Italian mule last night.
Yes.
With the limoncello. That was wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did sleep pretty well last night, too.
Instagram saw it first.
Yeah. So, yes, I could be clubbing tonight.
Kimberly, thanks for joining us. Igor, thanks for being here.
Yes.
Everyone who's a part of the YA community, Justice, Space, and Phil back at our auto advocates back on the YA community forum and the live chat. Thank you for being here, and keep your schnizzle frosted.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. I can't wait to get those T-shirts.
Well, I'll be quiet really quick. You say that, and then
Keep your sizzle.
Wait for me to stop talking.
It's sizzle, isn't it?
I'm gonna
frosted sizzles.
I'm gonna make an ad lib out of this.
Yeah. I can't wait.
Damn it, Ray.
Okay.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, all. Thank you. I think we'll see you next week.